Well, good evening here from Denmark. It's 6:30, about 6:30 in the evening, Friday evening. I love Fridays, so I'm in a cheerful mood today. Well, I'm gonna draw a prompt from the Thrifty Apprentice September challenge called Cheap, the Thrifty Cheap Art Challenge. That's what it's called. And as usual, I'm running a little bit behind in the prompts, so I need to catch up on storefront. And if I am lucky and a good girl, Christmas. So when I'm done that, I'm posting it to Instagram using this tag right here. And yeah, let's hit it. Um, well, first, I want to talk a little bit about. I was so proud of myself. Like I had like a, not that I decided to have a no buy watercolor 2025. It just happened that I didn't shop much for the first quarter of 2025, and then suddenly I realized that I had a track record of having like 6 or 7 months in a row where I did not shop any art supplies at all. So I've been aware of the fact that this could actually be the year where I'm not buying any new watercolor at all. So it has helped me not being enabled by all the cute stuff from Paul Rubens and whatnot. I've been tempted a lot this past month. Anyway, I broke down actually. I broke that promise to myself yesterday because I was in the mall and we have this Danish shop called Søsterne Grene. I don't think that they have an online store. Hi, Kathy. Oh, yay. Oh, you're here? Welcome to my desk. Oh, it's so cool that you take time to watch. Much appreciated. Well, I'm just bragging about. I showed you over on Patreon my bargain, my steal. It's a Danish store. You can look them up online, but they don't have like an online store. But in their physical store in the mall, they had these shimmery mica paints for only €3, which is like it's like $3.50 or something. How can you say no? So I bought 3 sets, and it's not Lisa Linka, you know. The shimmer is not there, It looks like Lisa Linka, but oh my god, wow, I was so pleasantly surprised when I came home and unboxed it. Not only did it come with a water brush, which is fine with me. Yeah, they're great, but look at the pants. Look at the pants. Do you recognize Kuretake Gansai Tambe? And I love this pen size. If you're using like a really juicy brush, I'm just picking, like, this is the most ferocious big brush that I have. But I wouldn't be unfamiliar using sizes like, now I'm just grabbing. Like, you can totally swipe these pans with an inch wide flat brush, which is astonishing. You can really twirl with a fat barrel like a size 10. And I have this theory that when you hit pan, hi Sherry, welcome to my desk. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Yeah, they're nice, right? I have this theory that you are making the tip of your brush blunt when you are starting to dig after your colors when you hit pan. So a good example is how I am using these pans. Can you see it's in a cone-shaped spiral downwards to the end of the pan, which means that I must somehow be twirling like this, like with the tip mushed down into the pan. And I've just noticed that when I paint with the larger pans from Kuretake, I tend to side load more than like push down twirl. So for me, it's just so awesome that I hopefully can use up all this shimmer here and would have like freed up 18 large wells where I can refill them with something nice. Oh my god, I have to show you this. This is like super eye candy. Oh my god, look at this. I mean, this is just so cool. And they got this very sheer fine mica. Only place I've ever seen this sheer fine mica is when I'm watching nail videos. Girls who are doing acrylic nails when they when they are you know using this powder. So it kind of reminds me of that kind of powder. So yeah, it's just so cool. I had to brag, because I think I'm gonna fling out one or two of these sets today, and then you're probably gonna ask, "What is that?" And then now I told you, but it is with new toys. Like you want to use them right away. So okay, guys, you today are gonna learn with me. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna teach myself something today, and I thought I might turn on the camera to share it with you guys. So what I'm gonna paint today is something that's a learning curve for myself. Yeah, now you get really intrigued, right? Okay, hear me out. Let me try and make some space here. There is an awesome YouTuber called Knitting Sing, and I have learned so much from knitting, especially the way that he used ochre and sepia. He's a very, for me, he's a very limited palette painter, which means that, and I adore that he can do it. I think Kathy Aber actually also can do this. She can just be content with a palette that she really gets to know. You know what I mean? Like I am so envy of Kathy and Ninsinting because they 100% know their palette. They got this one Mercedes Rolls Royce palette where they have squeezed out a lot of brands that they've favored during the years. You can really tell that there is a reason why this pan is filled with, in particular, a special brand. So they have constructed that one palette, and for me, that's admirable because I am a palette collector. So of course, I find it very admirable that you can. Be so patient that you can really get to know your supplies because I can see how that has elevated, especially Nincin Ting's way of painting because he's pushing his pigments. Yeah, but if you're into this, you know what I mean. No, you're not lazy. I mean, hi, Devon. Oh my God. I had to go to bed because you started at 2 in the night. I saw part of you debossing and embossing baby wipes over at Messy Palette Girl. It looked very interesting, and my first thought was, I don't think that I have baby wipes that look so cool. But if you go to Devon Rex's last live stream, in her description below her live stream, there is a link where she's informing everyone that she's going to be a guest at Messy Palette. And then when you click on that link, you will get to the live stream that Messy Palette was doing. And they show how you can emboss in your Big Shot fabric. And I was like, what? Because I am a quilter. So, do I have fabric scraps? Yes, sir, I do. So, I was very inspired and I kept watching and watching. And I actually had to go to bed, because it was in the middle of the night for me. But it was very interesting to see how you just rolled it through texture embossing folders and then with inked up the debossed or embossed surfaces. And I was so inspired. And there was this point where Devon is taking out one of the tags that she glued baby wipes on, and she was like, "It is so soft," and I just want to feel that fabric tag in my hands. So yeah, you had a video about that. I totally just didn't know about. Um, anybody using double-sided tape and then adhering fabric to tags. So my first thought was that I'm gonna try and find some of my Christmas fabric and then produce some, just a small handful of really awesome gift tags, because opening up a present is half the joy, right? So you totally inspired me to create, for just the inner circle, a couple of super handsome fabric tags. So yeah, I'm really super inspired, I have to say. But okay, hi Carol, welcome to my stream. Okay, back to Nintin Singh, whose name I'm butchering. He uploaded 2 days ago a teaching video on how you can alter your values when you're doing shading. And I tried to do a replica of his example. So, because I want to use that today, I want to learn. I want to learn. This up here is an example on how I probably would also, like him, shade in a cup of coffee, right? What he's trying to teach us is to go more aggressive with your shading, where the highlights are truly just white and where the dark side is actually black. I mean, and do more about also drawing in the shape of what you are painting in the shadow. So this little handle here is the handle on the teacup. And I picked up info from his video about painting these coffee cups and was thinking, you know what? He's onto something. There's something that I don't do much of, and that is to render the details down in my shadow. And I also have to confess, I rarely start out with the dark black color. I always like build it up gradually. Like first I would paint like blue, and then in the very end I will come in with the shading color. But this is reverse done. Like first start with the darkest dark, and then retain extremely amount of white whenever you can, and be very meticulous when you draw in the shadows from your objects, because they have to be obscure because this is curved. But wouldn't you say the same? Like, how many of us would have made the handle hands on? I think that's what I am picking up from his tutorial. So today I'm going to make a prompt in this challenge, and it's called storefront. And I resketched it. I sketched it called, so I would save time. And I gave myself the impossible task of having a lot of elements that are sticking out. So somehow I'm gonna try and take his suggestion and incorporate it into my urban sketch of a storefront. Wish me luck. But what I'm trying to do is that I want to illustrate with shading that these signs, store signs up here, are having different width. So some of them are poking out more than others. I'm hoping to be able to do a very specific shading on the window sills and on the items on the road. And yeah, I'm just hoping, I'm praying that I can somehow also work with that casted shadow of this draining pipe here. Yeah, I got the good ideas on what to do first. Is this an imaginary scenery, or did you have this is just imaginary, totally imaginary. It's just when I was sketching it, I was thinking about I want different structure, so I am fantasizing that this part of the building is actually put a little bit back, and this is a little bit in the front, so we're having like an uneven we even got an uneven house. So, and then we got some add-ons over here. This is part. This is an add-on to this building that could cast a shadow on this brick wall. That I imagine we could have like a casted triangular shadow that also comes down to the ground. I don't know. So yeah, that's the plan, and we're gonna use trusty old pretty excellent. The whole drill with the September challenge is to use inexpensive art supplies, which is super nice because I kind of have a lot of that. Where is my water? Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do like Ning Sing Ting with the like start with the dark shadows first, which is a little bit scary for me because usually I start my drawings differently. Oh, just a second. Går det, Lars? Okay, hej. Nej, jeg tror, jeg har det hele. Okay, hi. My hubby, he's leaving. I think he's going biking or something. He is so athletic. Okay, maybe I should clasp this down with some. Yeah, I don't know what the word for these. But guys, can you follow the madness about trying to reset old habits on how to draw shadow and then try something new? Since I'm a chicken, I don't want to go full on strong with black. I think I'm gonna like Ting work with sepia. So I'm gonna mix my dark by using the sepia as a good friend. So I'm gonna start with sepia, and then unfortunately I have a lamp black in this palette here, which is like very dark. It's not an ivory black, which got like more like a brownish tint to it because it's made out of what? Yeah, burnt bones. So if we start with that mix, I would definitely have a strange shadow here, right? Because this building is a little bit in front of the other. And then maybe I should give myself a pencil line that could go like this. Because then this sign here could be a little bit strange, like pushed back a little bit. Then we have I think we should have like slanted light source coming from this direction here. So we have the window sills. So what I would recommend is to start filling out all the shadings that make sense. Like where you kind of know here there would be like a cast shadow. Here would be a shading because some of the shadings are not given. Like you would have a light coming from up here, so you would have a shading of this roof here. So I'm starting with this line, and then I think I'm gonna drag it down a skewer like this. That's one section of the building, right? Oh my god, I feel I'm wrecking my sketch, but hopefully it will all collect well in the end. And then here we have like yet another cast shadow from this building here that I likewise would drag downwards. Gosh, look, I'm going above those windows now. So the angle of that shading must mean that this angle here should be different too. And then this could cast like a strange shading. Okay, we are onto something here. This whole building in the back is in shade. So I should just put it in shade, right? Gosh, I hope this dries up lighter. Maybe I'm gonna pick up, if I can. This paper is not the best for picking up pigments. I'm gonna pick up a little bit from the window here. And then this add-on of building will cast a really large shadow on this section here. That's gonna stop right there because there's an opening, an arch. So it's actually gonna continue after the opening here. And then of course the arch itself will be completely in shade. So for that I could actually pick ivory black immediately. I'm just gonna shade in with the ivory here. And this is furthest away, so I feel that the shadow could be darker because of that. And then this has like a lip in the top of it that might also be slanted because of the way the light is. I'm just correcting my angles, like you should be able to draw like a straight line, avoiding the opening in the archway. And this archway here is casting yet another shadow that's just gonna be super black but linear. So let's make that black crawl up along the bricks of this opening here. Okay, so far I think it makes sort of sense. What the heck is this? Okay, I drew something here that I think I even further pushed back. So I'm just gonna make that super dark with the black value. I don't even myself know why I drew the triangle shape, but we're gonna put it in there. Okay, that was some of the shade. Are you with me? From watching you and all these years, there isn't anything you mess up. Oh, thank you so much. But no, I'm learning something new today. Okay, let's attack this area over here. It's in the light. So I think I'm gonna stress out that it's more in the light than this storefront is by really not giving it a lot of attention when it comes to shades, because it's gonna be like lighter shades. Maybe I could have like a strong triangular, like a reverse L-shaped shadow coming like this and then fading out into nothing. Where's my paper? Okay, then we got this pipe right here, and it's gonna cast a shade. Okay, first we have to illustrate that it's not attached to the, which is odd, I know. My pipe is not attached to the building itself. So I want to first shade the pipe. Oh my god. Okay, I should have completely have taken like a smaller brush for that, but oh well. And now I want to make like a cast shadow on the wall of that pipe, and then use a mix with the sepia to illustrate that this is a shadow color. So now we have like a painterly value difference between the pipe and the shadow. Sepia, I'm just picking that because it's Nin Ching's favorite shading color, but you could actually use a mix with, um, I would say like a cooler tone, could be like cool purple or cool blue. I tend to give people a warmer shading with build up with a warm ultramarine, and then dead things like pipes and house and building, I give them more like a cooler leaning color when it comes to shading. But I don't know where I got that idea from, so you can't really use that as a template of this is how it should be done. Okay, it's gradually drying up, so you can kind of see where you need to go in and strengthen your values depending on what's furthest away. So this was like really pushed back, and this must have a little bit stronger shadow value than, oh my god, did I do that? Okay, then this building here. This time I'm just painting around the window. I really like this window right there. Maybe maybe something like this. So that's pushed further back. Okay, now we have to attack the hardest part. It's the roof. I think Ning Xing Ting would leave this white and then maybe a reverse L shape as shading. Okay, but he definitely would have like some sort of a linear top up here. Okay, I'm just gonna give myself a lot of water for this one. It is a huge area, um, and I know that it's a good candidate to preserve the white. So what if we just drop into the corners and see what the paint wants to do? So sometimes when you're in doubt, um, try and see if you can let the magic happen by letting it paint itself. Like fewer brushstrokes if you can avoid it, and then just see what happens. And this is a curved gutter, is it called that? So it would have, uh, actually we could go like really dark and introduce the ivory black on this, or we could choose to mix it up with a bluish color to illustrate that it's a shade of something that's metallic. So I'm just gonna take like, there's a little bit of phthalo in this blue here. I'm gonna add that to the mix. So I'm avoiding the warm ultramarine because this is a thing and not a living person. I'm putting that into my shadow. I actually think this drain pipe could have the exact same color value. So it sort of is linked together. Okay, I'm gonna take a break there. Um, oh my god, all of this is a mess. All of that is a clustered mess. What the heck? I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna wet everything and then I'm gonna let the color dance, and that would be my first shadow. I mean, this is a very crazy idea, but wet everything, let that settle in, and then I can attack it. But now there's no like white of the paper, if you know what I mean. Now it's done. You know, let it. Let's see what happens. I want to come in with the. Can you see I got some bleeding through right there on the page, and it's like very uncharming. So I want to come in somehow with some of these colors on this. So hopefully, in my finished paintings, you would less notice that fupa I got going on there. So maybe I should just start dropping in some of the colors I see in that splotch right there. We got a little bit of purple. We need a little bit of vermilion to warm up that purple. And then we have maybe this orange. Yeah. So maybe I should try that some of these colors are represented in the, and this is where it makes no rhyme or reason. Some of these colors are going to be represented down here on, on the floor shadow, just to get away from that splotchy look. More of that kind of purple orange. Use a little bit of water. And we got that splotch right there. Okay, I have to think about that one. So far, I don't really know what to do with that one, but it's okay. Um, Down here, I think I want to continue with this cool leaning blue storefront. Just to give me some bearings of where the road is. It's very, very pale, but it's just a helping line for me so far. So I know you can barely see what's going on there. But I'm still in the midst of how to attack the shadows of this cluster here. I could sharpen up the details around this opening door here. Maybe a little bit of that blue up here in the window. Okay, and then I think I should just let it settle in and dry before I continue. And while I'm waiting for that, I can start building up the the areas that I can see that definitely needs to be stronger, because you're working on wet paper, so colors will dry up lighter than you see them. It's just the nature of it. So I'm just wicking in some value here and there. Okay, and now I think I need a little break. Okay, can you see that I still have not colored in much? I mean, I colored down here, but now I need to sit and think about what kind of color my building should be. Um, It could be anything like red, golden, or, you know, blue or whatnot. But maybe I should go traditional because this is a brick wall. Hmm. So I'll just ponder a little bit about that. I want to get more specific about the stuff that's out here on the storefront because the prompt is storefront. So this could actually be very aggressively painted because that's the prompt. So the focal point must be that hopefully the first thing your eyes are looking at when viewing this drawing is the storefront because that would make sense, right? So if I paint them up very harsh and then use the Nin Ting Sing method with the shadows, how can I go wrong? So if we take and give this super aggressive shadows to begin with, let's see how that will look. Let's give ourselves a ground line, ground level, so we better can see that that's where the shading is starting. Oh, we actually have a desk over here too. It's completely unrealistic that the things would cast these kind of shadows, but I want them to be casted like that because of the nature of the prompt. Okay, that really needs to dry. I seem to have a disagreement with the slanted line. Like I'm not so parallel with this cast over here. So maybe I'm lucky and can correct it. Yeah, I think I like this. And then shadows within the shadow. And so I'm just gonna plot in some darker values in the shadow. Okay, that definitely needs to dry. I hope I'm making sense. Um, I think I want to heat set it so I can move on. I don't like to keep on painting, painting, painting. I think every watercolor should have like a little break, like where you let it dry up at least and then start over. Because in the process of it drying up, so is the values. So they're going to be lighter. So I'm just going to turn on my heat gun for a second. So hold to your ears. Okay, now that has dried. I'm still thinking about how to continue this with the signs and everything. Maybe I should just jump into it. I think I want a little bit of blue toned in my shading color. And I think I'm simply just going to give myself a super dark underlying shade on these storefront signs here. And this is also like a humongous sign. Maybe if I plot in a wet line of pigments, I may be able to drag it down somehow. Because it needs to be addressed, right? More darkness. Can you see? It's like very... This one is standing up out for some reason. Ah, yeah, that was the plan, right? That they had like different. They were pushed back and forth in different width. Yeah, I think this does not look so crazy, but I in fact wish that I could make it much, much darker. I think I'm gonna heat set this and then I'm gonna come on top of this with a dark wash. I'm just gonna heat set it. Oh, thank you, Kathy. It takes longer time to do these urban things than you think of. Okay, I'm gonna wet this area here, the whole area. I need to come in with a much, much darker value. It's difficult to see how deep can I actually go, but I kind of got on the feeling that you can actually go very, very deep if you want to. So let's try that. Prussian blue, shadow's best friend. I know it looks like I'm wrecking it, but I sort of feel that I can go in with a bunch of value here. What I'm seeing in my head is how this looks with color. So I'm trying to think forward, like fast forward. How will this show up? All these shading marks when the color is done. So that's why I have this intuition of needing to go in super dark. But because I'm like reverse painting, because I'm following Ning Xin Ching's advice, where I put down all the dark first, I really need to visualize more, like how the end result would be painted out. Because the whole trick here is to come with a final glaze that's gonna sort of make everything make sense. So this shape of a square up here, a rectangular, and a square right there is gonna matter in the end. Okay, this is the darkest dark we have now. So now I need to color adjust everything accordingly. Otherwise, it's not credible that this is furthest away. And it's super easy to color adjust. You just do glazes, like quick glazes. Hi, Daru. Hey. He's quiet. So I'm just gonna do a quick color adjusting glazes. But it's fun to realize that it looks so dark when we first started, and now we are ending up glazing in an extremely dark color. So imagine if I laid out, if I had the courage to simply just trust the process and had started out with the dark color, then I could have spared myself for this post glazing here. So sometimes when it comes to values, it's also a question of how brave do we dare to be in our first expression when when the value is first hitting the paper. Hmm. Need to color adjust this one up here. Oh, guys, I hope that this is not boring to watch. I'm very meticulous when I'm learning something new. I'm on the borderline of being anal because I want to understand. And the only way that I could get it in is by doing. And then we got this corner here, and then this corner here. Yeah, that was fast, right? Not so bad. Okay, and then I actually think that we could try and heat set this. But once again, put in all the shadows where you know that, oh, there could be a shadow there, 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 because it's all gonna help you to collect all the shading areas so you're ready to do your glaze. Okay, I think I'm ready to heat set it. I'm gonna heat set it. Okay. Oh, guys, what to do about that splotch? Okay, I'm gonna do something I might regret. I'm gonna come in with that orange splot right there. Oh, God help me. I'm gonna wet the whole area. I want that orange to travel because that's traveling, so why shouldn't that orange travel? And now I need to mix the correct the correct shade of that orange right there. It's a little bit warm reddish leaning. So I'm trying to temper my here we go. Are you ready? We're gonna put that color right there. We're gonna let it bleed so it becomes just as crazy as that dot right there. We're gonna let it bleed into the shading also down here. And I'm gonna keep making it stronger, stronger, and stronger. Like so. And then I'm gonna twist it off with some yellow values over here so it doesn't steal the whole picture. I'm gonna warm up that yellow so it's become like a gamboge because that's a warm orange. So I want like a very warm yellow. I'm gonna try and make a transition so that your eye kind of travel from orange to yellow together with your brain. There we have the splotch. Oh, it looks so weird. Okay, something tells me that it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Oh no. And then I'm gonna add in the same orange, just a couple of places over here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna heat set this too. Okay, and now I am ready to put color on my page, and then decide what colors it should have. I am very fond of the tile work here, so I think I will go for like ochreish colors, definitely. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up my palette. So, are you guys still here on this wonderful Friday evening? Whole fresh palette. Using a, what is that? Using inexpensive watercolor is a solid way to test your knowledge on how to deal with the medium. What is Proco? Is that a person or is it some sort of Autobot or something? Um, Hello, Proco. I'm just getting confused because of that fun thing you have on your name with like a tick, tick. We are an art education channel. You are a person. Welcome to my desk. Okay, guys, I'm gonna add some colors to this page. So, of course, I'm gonna do a light wash first. So, what I would recommend is to prep your puddles first. So, I definitely need a puddle of liquid ochre. Ochre, girl's best friend. I mean, what's not to love about ochre? We definitely need a sky, but we need a very particular sky. We don't want blue. We want like a grayish blue. So I'm going to take a blue color and then I'm going to add in a little bit of burnt sienna to gray it down. Not because I'm a fan of rainy days, but because I just don't want blue sky. And then we're actually going to take the blue that we could have made the sky with next to it. I'm leaning towards this cooler blue because we used cooler blue on the building. So there will be like a clutch, a correlation from the background color onto the colors we used on the items that we painted. And then I want like a reddish brown brickwork on my building. So this is where it can get a little bit interesting. I want to take a darker brown and then I'm going to mix in a violet into that. It's giving me like a caput mortumish color. I like it. Yeah. If you like grams, this is like the terracotta red color. That's a cool one. You know what? It's gonna look so awesome. Okay, so I'm ready to go. Like I said, this is just a wet wash to tint the paper before we really start putting in the color. So I would like to use a flat brush for that actually. I feel my washes like these I made in my palette, they last longer if I use a flat brush. So it's more like a frugal way of putting down the color. Let's see, that check is like a badge of being real. Oh, I think they put it on there to verify that we are not a fake pretending to be us or something. Oh my God, isn't it funny how I totally misread that as something odd, like a bot, like something artificial. That is funny. Okay, we like wet washes because watercolor like that, right? So I'm just going in using hopefully some pl- plotting. I don't want it to look like a human has added in these colors. Um, I think it's sometimes nice to meet watercolor in the middle. It can do its thing, I can do my thing. So together, hopefully we can paint this. What I am particular with is that I want some sort of shading going on where the building is met with the sky because to make the white highlight pop on the building, I need some sort of a darker value next to it. And maybe I can get that by simulating foliage, for instance, over here. Let that crawl up a little bit of black into that. So now we got like something that's outlining the, like, in a way, like you're negative painting the shape of the roof, you know? And if you think the sky's getting a little bit too gloomy, you can add in a smidgen of ochre, because ochre is not likely to make a green mix with the cool blue that we added into our palette. So it's not dangerous to use that up in the sky area. But now we got like a painted in sky. It looks really weird now, but it's gonna dry super pushed back. So I'm not afraid of that look. I want, however, to have some sort of, I can't really put words on it. I want something to going on here on the street. What's going through my head right now is to make it as sporadic as possible, because it's gonna make it less stiff. Like if I made every decision myself, it would be very linear and kind of stiff, you know. Okay, we got a problematic area here. What's on the other side of this gate? I think I would put foliage there, wouldn't you? So it's more like something is happening greenish right here. I'm working a little bit fast because I'm working with the wet wash. So that's why it seems like I'm frantic. But it's just because I got an open time as long as the paper is moist to do this super big color wash here. Here I'm thinking that Ning Ting Ting he will preserve a lot of the white of this building. So even though my biggest task is to paint this building terracotta red. So now I too are thinking like, where would I put the color, you know? We need white values to stress out the light, right? So I'm very cautious with this first glaze here about not covering up everything in this red color. Even though it is super tempting, you know, like just going red everywhere. But I need to, yeah, maybe that's actually it. And then because these colors are casting a shade down here on the ground for some reason, I also want some of the building colors represented down here. Don't ask why I chose that everything should cast such a colorful shade, except from it's the prompt is storefront, so I want to make like a dramatic front right there. Okay, this house back here I think could have a totally different color. It would be so cute if it was like blue or green. No, not green because of foliage. Should we try with blue actually? So I'm just picking up a blue We used a lot of cool leaning blues, so maybe we should actually take a warm leaning blue. Maybe we should mix it with a little bit of Viridian to sort of get that turquoise with an ultramarine. It's such a nice color. I think they call it sea glass or something. Yeah, that's gonna be a cute little shed over here in that sea glass. And then that door could actually be a regular brownish color because it's a wooden door. Oh man, I like that. That is so cute. And then, oh, sea glass in the casted shading. Okay, this needs to dry up before I can continue. I suddenly can see that it's okay what we have. I think I'm gonna heat set it. That's the quickest. It's very faint because it's just a very transparent wash. But now the trick comes to strengthen everything up until I am satisfied. So I'm just gonna dry this. Oh, you have to head out. Oh, thank you so much for coming and visiting, saying hello. I wish you a perfect weekend. So, bye bye. Okay, now the paper is locking in the pigments. Every time you dry, you kind of lock in the pigments better than if you just keep on working wet in wet in wet. But what I got now is actually an instruction of where to place my colors. So I kind of hinted everywhere where I want what color to go where. So now it's just going to be like a walk in the park because now I just need to strengthen up these washes I got over here and completely continue what I've been doing, or just use up what I have. I feel I want to, you know, give myself more mixes, so I'm sure that I got enough. And this time I'm putting less water in my puddles so they become not so liquid. And here we had like a blue, I think it was this blue here maybe. And then we put in a brown tone to make it grayish. I think I want a little bit more of the blue. And I think I have enough of the ochre. And then we had like a sky. Okay, so now the drill is to take tissue, because here you can just quickly grab up what you regret putting where. Because now I'm not gonna work so much in a wet wash, so now I'm more like adding color. Oh my god, my light is really horrible. Let me see what I can do. I think it's because my light changed outside my window because it's evening. So let me see if I can make it less bright. No, it's like the camera is not reacting much. Okay, I'm just gonna slant my book then. Um, it's coming from over here, isn't it? What if I turn it off? No. Oh, it's so annoying that I got this. What is it called when it's like blurred out? What if I? Okay, give me just a second. I try to catch some of the glare with this one. Yeah. Guys, I have like really weird light. Okay, I'm gonna put down more color, and then hopefully the addition of more and more color will help my camera to pick up the colors. Here, just with the nature of negative painting, touch the rooftop so that the blue color is carving out that white rooftop right there. I think I want more of that blue color over here also. I really liked it with a smidgen of ochre in it. Looked nice. Maybe I could have that over here also. Yeah, I like that. More of that. Okay, I'm gonna need to look out that I'm not overdoing it with this ochre, but I kind of like that the effect it have on top of. And then here you can barely tell the ending and beginning of the what should I call it, the building here. So I think I'm gonna place foliage right here to illustrate that there is actually a house right here. So this house is almost in just white. There's like barely any sketch lines, but let's hope that it can stand like that and hold its ground. I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the blue. Now it's really carved. Now we got it carved out. That's nice. And now for the house here. Just going in with a stronger wash, following my guidelines from the first wash. And just trust the mess, you know. I think I'm gonna plot in randomly where I got some bricks sketched in. And then over here. Could be awesome with this reddish color if it could push back that really weird orange glob that I had on my centerfold. It was like super annoying that it was there. But now it's less You notice it less now. And then because I have a flat brush, I can tap in the texture of the bricks. So just gonna dab that in. And then I'm gonna give myself some dirty grungy down here at the floor level, you could call it, of the building. Just like it's been used, or and then we're gonna carve with the ochre some sort of pathway in and out of that arch, so it looks like there is like a pathway. And then I think I actually want to take some of the colors and put out here in the storefront. I'm not really sure what to do about the storefront. I'm thinking mostly it could be, maybe it rings an idea of it being vegetables or something. That's in these boxes. And the color of the boxes, I think they should be brown, like wood. So I'm just gonna lay in burnt sienna. Don't you just love when it's so sloppy and washed out? The the need for being super meticulous with details and a sharp pencil is not necessarily. And sometimes the messier it gets with blurry lines, the more maybe our brain hopefully will put in the rest. Then we got some objects down here that I think could be in different colors. Maybe green colors actually. And now we need to work on that ochre end wall over here. So I think I want like a dirty ochre right there, a little bit here on the stone, and then a smidgen of that brown, just to give it some wear and tear from wind and weather. Okay, I think we should let that dry. I like it more and more. I hate that light. Let me try. And hi, Barbara Clark. Welcome to my desk. Oh, thank you. So, I think I'm going to get up and try and turn off my overhead light to see if that will remove the glare. Or what if I do like this and then remove the overhead light? So just a second. It helped a little bit, but I'm almost sitting in the dark. I think it's because for some reason there's something off with my colors on my screen from what I can see to what you guys are seeing. That's annoying me immensely. Okay, maybe if I put in a little bit I'm just gonna shape some of the things here in the window. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm a little bit concerned that there is such a shift from what I see and what you can see, because I don't feel like wanting to change any of my colors. Maybe I could add something up here with the signs. Like this one could be like a bluish sign right here. Yeah, I think maybe I need some scribble scrabble to like it's a store or something. It's gonna make like something that looks like a text, but it's not a text. If you know what I mean. Just scribbles. If I wet this down. I really like that. When it's like scratched into the paper. But of course I need to be careful because it's peeling up the paper at the same time. Just so it gets something something. Yeah, I think I would call this done. I feel that it was fun to play with this Ninsing Ting technique. I feel the angle of that shading is off. Maybe it could go stronger in the value over here. I just want to be so cautious with my alterations because I'm mostly doing it for the camera. But I still need to take a picture of this and enroll it into the challenge on Instagram. So I don't want to deviate too much from what I can see because I'm sort of content with what I can see. So I'm looking at the new technique from Ninting's Ting. Let me get his name correct. Knitting Sing, and I'm evaluating. I think this looks authentic. Like I can understand that you needed to go so dark down here. It kind of looks authentic. It also looks authentic with the dark shading up here below the signs. I think I have an issue about this area here being too bright. So I think I want to use like a blue toned, blue shade shadow. Just like that. Just to take the tip of it. I kind of like the way that you first put down the dark up here and then you added the colors on top in a glaze instead of doing it reverse. I usually do it reverse, like first I put down the red color and then I start putting in the dark color. By doing it reverse, you get a more dusky shade. I feel it's more dusky. Um yeah. Yeah, I will embrace his technique. I think it was scary to work like that because you still had to picture your end result with colors while you were putting down the dark shadows. But I think I could need a little more practice in making the shadows having like the same shape as the object that's like casting the shade, if you know what I mean. Like it's a super big box when you look at the shadow. So I kind of like the shading of these two items here. But I can see that something is a little bit off with this shading here, but it's just a matter of, doing this over and over and over, So, bye bye, Barbara. Have a nice weekend. So I think I will end my painting session here. I think I learned something today about the values and putting in the colors after the value is done. So it was a nice painting session. Sorry for being so unhinged because I need to think while I was doing all of these things here. I'm just painting in this post thing here. Okay, so but I want to thank you all for coming, and it's been fun. And I wish you a super nice weekend. And leave a thumbs up before you go. It super helps my channel. So yeah, bye bye, guys. Oh no, what did I click on? Here we go. I'm still here. I know. I clicked on something wrong. But I just want to say bye bye and have a nice weekend. And now I'm turning off. Bye bye.